a certain year model Ford F-100 from that, the old vintage Ford truck podcast. Like that would be perfect. Don't do a general truck podcast. Do one on Ford trucks, and you're going to get, a bunch of listeners that just want to hear about Ford trucks, and I think that's the thing. I think you don't do a general anymore. There's money to be made. There's a business model, but you got to be hyper, focused on what you're going for.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. I could probably talk to you for the rest of the day, and I know that our listeners appreciate your advice on podcasts and what a wonderful career history you've had. I'm still amazed that your family's had a Ford dealership for 100 years. That absolutely blows me away. Can you tell us, go over the names of your shows so people can find them on the different platforms? I know you're on just about every platform, but what are the names of your 3 shows, and where can we find you at?
Yeah, well, one of my shows, I've got the Down and Dirty Radio Show, and then I've got the Down and Dirty Radio Show Off-Road Edition, 2 completely separate shows with separate sponsors, but they're the same RSS feed. You can get those on iTunes. Just search Down and Dirty Show or go to our website, downanddirtyshow.com. And then I've got my other show, Project Action, that's on Podcast One. That one just search Project Action on iTunes. It's also available on my website or Podcast One. You can get it over there, on their app or on their website or anywhere. I don't know. They're all over the place. Anywhere Podcast One distributes their stuff. So yeah, 3 shows. 2 are kind of named Down and Dirty Show. The other one's Project Action.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, congratulations on working with Rigid Lighting again. What a great company. Brett is back at the helm over there. Awesome guy. For those people listening that have any interest in off-road lights or boating lights or lights for just about everything, Rigid Lighting is awesome. So congrats being back over there, Jim.
Yeah, no, it's been, it's just one of those things. And I think with anything, the Rigid, I've had lighting sponsors in my career, and a couple of years ago they signed me up and we did a 2-year deal, and their marketing focus shifted for a couple of years, but it was always home. Like the fit was really good for me there. Things were right. And, I went and did something else for 3 years, and they, changed their marketing focus. But, my contract ended, we started talking, and, when I'm back there and it's just, when something works and it feels right, it's like you always know, and there's part of you is always drawn back there. So like the first opportunity we both had to work together again, it was like, all right, we need to do this, because it was right, and I think sometimes in business and everything else, you've got to go and do something else to really realize what works, and you've got to try a few different things. And I think that was kind of what happened with Richard and I. We both kind of went and tried something else. We went, you know what, we want to kind of come back together,
Yeah. Well, you won't do it, but I will. A little shameless plug for you. I know that General Tire's been a great support of yours, Vision Race Wheels, Polaris Razor, and now back with Rigid. And those companies are the ones that make these dreams go around, right? The racing, the podcasting, and I think there's a level of importance of being able to market and be marketable to companies like that. So well done with those partnerships.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we've got some amazing partners. Some of them been with us. I don't know. I've got seems like we're working on new business every single day. I've got somebody kind of helping me with that, and got some partners that have been with me, 7-8 years, and then I've got other ones that are just coming in. We just signed another one yesterday, Super ATV. So really excited to have them on board. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know. It's just crazy. Honestly, I'm humbled every single day. I start looking at numbers and looking at things. I'm going, man, how do we get where we're at from where we started? It's kind of amazing, man. It still humbles me every single day.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jim, I really appreciate you being on the show, sharing your wisdom about podcasting, your success within that world. And I hope that it's enough that some people will pick up on this show and create their own podcast and maybe write us one day. Hey, thanks for that show, because I learned something about it. So really appreciate you being on today.
No, I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you. And, I don't know. I look forward to adding your shows every week. And you're one of those shows, like, I have absolutely no idea who the guest is going to be every single week. So it's like when you shoot me that email, it's like I look forward to just knowing. It's like, who did Jim get to be on the show this week? And I look back, and obviously your brother's been on there. I think Pilar Lastra, who I've known of for years. And it's like I look forward to your shows just because it's like it's kind of like me opening a Christmas present, a day of Christmas. You don't know what's going to pop up,
I love hearing that. Well, thank you again. This has been the Answer is Yes podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share it, subscribe. All those little things help out, keep us on the air. We have our own sponsors, so thank you to them. If you haven't checked out our other show, Baja Sessions, comes out traditionally around Mondays, Tuesdays. It's all about Baja. And then, of course, we got Jim Beaver shows. What I love about today's interview with Jim is the fact that he had a passion for something. He turned it into a reality, and then that reality turned into a business for him. And you can hear from this show how successful it's become. And Jim is one of those guys that is consistently on spot, on par with what his vision is. And I will never forget the early beginnings of his shows. And, you know, I got to admit, I had some doubt that it was going to take off, and he's proven me wrong every day since then. And I just love that about him. He races the same way. He gets out there, gives it 110% effort. He's just one of those guys. So please take the time to follow him. As I say on every show, David Meltzer has taught me in the morning, each and every day, thank yourself for all the things you have more than enough of. If you start writing those things down, you'll understand how unbelievably blessed we all are living in this world, and the things that you probably have that you don't even realize the value of them. And finally, Mark Victor Hansen, what you believe is what you'll achieve. And I think Jim was a testament to that. He believed that he can do a great show. He's got one. He taught me how to do it. And I'm hoping that we can teach some of you how to do it. We look forward to sending a show to you every single week. Again, please share this with your friends and family if you enjoyed it. And you can find me at my new website, livelifedriven.com. Thanks again.